Want to dress thousands of homes, more photos? Shop the entire MLS, darryl-baskin.com, or call us at 258-2600. You're a new homeowner having a new roof installed. How do you know you're getting the right job and a quality job? Here to share some of the insights, Jonathon Knapp, roofing expert with Royal Roofing. Jonathon, we have a simulated roof right here with all the components that a homeowner should see. Now, what are we looking at here? Where do you start?
Okay, well, first we'll start with the decking. You want a clean, smooth deck for your original install. We also have here, during a house that's being redecked, from a conversion from a wood shake to a composition shingle, you're going to have all this decking installed, and you also want to make sure that they're using a decking clip. What that does is keep the
joints from
moving independently of each other.
Correct. And that's where you might see some ridges in a roof if that wasn't, if it didn't have this done properly.
Yes, you'll see some roofs where when the sun shines across them just the right way, you can actually see all of the pieces of decking. And,
the panels that don't line up properly.
Correct, and you don't ever want to have that. So this is a cheap way to make sure that doesn't happen. Next would be the drip edge molding and the felt base underlayment. Make sure that they're using a quality felt and not trying to reuse what's on the roof.
And you can get a thicker felt.
Correct.
That's part of an upgrade. So
correct. Yes. So they have
price isn't everything.
Yes,
here.
They have 15-pound and 30-pound. 30 pounds is twice the thickness, and that's the true sealant for your house to keep everything out. It's also the moisture barrier to keep the shingles from being cooked from the underside, as we talked about earlier. The next step is to use a full starter row all the way around the perimeter of the roof.
This is the part that's running. I actually thought there was a mistake being made when we were doing the sample, because I've never seen the starter row before.
Yeah, it is something you won't see, but what it does is it gives you a continuous edge on the underside of the shingle, which helps prevent for wind blow off or any seams along where the multiple shingles come together along the leading edge of the roof. The next thing would be make sure your roofer's using nails instead of staples. The nails last much longer, and also the placement of them is critical. This line that you can faintly see here is what's called a nail line. And one of the #1 problems that we see with a lot of people that have a shingle blowing off problem is these will be nailed too high. The natural intention is to try to just nail up here, but this is the correct area to nail through. When you nail it through here, you're getting through both layers of the shingle. So it's very important to make sure these are in the right place.
Better securing the shingle much better for those Oklahoma windstorms.
Correct. Well, and you can see how these go down. So this leading edge has the glue on it, so this will seal down over a
nice hot summer day.
Correct. Over the lower shingle, but also this nail is going through both layers of this shingle and through the next shingle underneath it.
Wow.
So that's why it's very important as the placement of them to make sure you get a maximum.
This is really simple stuff that a homeowner can look for to see that the installation crew is doing the right job.
Correct.
Now, we've got this boot here that goes around a plumbing vent. Why is that so important?
Well, another common area where people will try to take shortcuts in roof replacement is not replacing these roof vents. These rubber seals will begin to deteriorate over time. You don't ever want to try to reuse them. It's just cheap insurance to replace them. It's just the right thing to do.
And of course, a cheap roofing job, they can leave those off the bid.
Correct.
Now, I was confused. This is something I learned today. This looks like felt, but it's actually a heavier felt that has some gravel on it.
Correct. It's still an asphalt-based underlayment. This is what's called base sheet. This is what you use in valleys or any areas where you're going to have a major concern for moisture infiltration.
Wow. Lots of information that homeowners pay attention to the roofing job that you're getting. It can determine whether you have a short-term roof or a long-term roof. Jonathon Knapp, roofing expert with Royal Roofing. Telephone number
398-6500.
Thank you, Jonathon.
Thank you.
How about a handy seller tip? Get your house ready for sale and ready for people to inspect it. One of the things you want to pay attention to is something that most homeowners never really look at, and that's the mechanical closet. If a buyer really likes your home, and especially a buyer who's very detailed, they will want to take a look at your hot water tank and your furnaces. Get in there with a wet rag and a shop vac, clean out all the dust, the fallen insulation. Wipe down the dirt off of the pipes, the gas pipes, and the top of the hot water tank. Make that stuff look good. Make it look like you've actually paid attention to it over the years, because a homeowner doesn't want problems from your house when they make that purchase. Put yours at the top of the list and look at all the details. Find more tips at darryl-baskin.com in the sellers category. Be sure to catch the radio edition of The Future of Real Estate on AM 740 and FM 102.3 News Talk KRMG Saturdays at noon.